Hello everyone, JJ here from 22 Explosive Hits coming at you. Just wanted to let you know a new segment that I'm now going to have on my show. On Thursdays, I'm now making it official that it'll be no Ktel Thursdays. What that is a matter for me is that being as no Ktel Thursdays, it's going to be an opportunity for me to show off all my other knowledge of sports collecting, of movies, of other genres of music other than just KTEL, to kind of expand the horizon of the channel. I'm still sticking with the theme of KTEL, but on Thursdays, I'm going to be making it a point to be a no KTEL Thursday, to the point where if I'm on Rachel's show live and you hear me talk about KTEL, nope, I'm going to do it. Throw away the key, not going to talk about it. So, here's a new segment. So the first one to introduce here is a part we James Winston Lennon and I did a video Zoom call where we were showing off our Blu-rays and our different items that we have. Here is a first like 10-minute segment of that. It's approximately a 2-hour interview that I will be now showing in clips. So here, without any further ado, is the video. Have a great day.
Surprise for you.
Okay.
And I think we'll start with that surprise first. Because I got inspired to show you this because of your poster behind you. And I think you know which one I'm referring to.
Yep. Beverly Hills Cop.
Nope.
Back to the Future.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Oh, that's awesome.
Can you see the full thing?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
That's the
From
Blu-ray.
my camera, I can't really tell if it's showing up completely. See, this is the first time it was on Blu-ray.
And it has a Montreal. Isn't it a requirement in Montreal or in Canada that you have to have both like the French dialogue and the English on your releases?
Yeah, they do, and it has a little gatefold here, like a record almost.
Awesome.
We got this, but I'm not gonna pull the thing out because it's hard to get it back in the slipcase.
Oh yeah. There's a YouTube. He's been around forever. He's the Angry Video Game Nerd, and he has a whole segment on. It's a quick little video. Maybe I'll find the link for you later. But he on YouTube, he goes through your DVD Blu-ray that you have and shows you how hard it is to get those back in the case.
Wow.
Because
now my next box set is James Cameron's Avatar.
Awesome.
And this has an extended cut of the film, which is almost 3 hours. And with more scenes put back into the film, it really makes the film better than the theatrical. But it's not 3D; it's just 2D.
And that's also in the widescreen format of that particular one is in the IMAX format, I believe. So that one it's like a 185 ratio in some parts, like you're watching a TV show, I believe.
Yeah, kind of. Now this next one is the Alien quadrilogy.
Okay.
Right? And it's got extended cuts of all the films, which makes the movies more understandable than this theatricals. The only things I'm missing are Prometheus and Alien Covenant. But the Alien versus Predator films, I don't really count them as Alien films because they're a whole separate thing to me.
Right.
I mean, they're good movies, don't get me wrong, but it's just not, to me, they don't connect with this.
Question for you. When Alien 3 came out, how did you feel that they killed off those characters? Did that bother you?
The little girl, I want to see more from her. Like, I want to see her connection with Ripley, but I was shocked that she died.
Yeah, that me too.
I really wanted her to be more in the film with her and see how her character would develop more.
And the other character too, I believe he survived as well, was the one guy from Terminator, that was Catalyst in the first Terminator movie. He was in that with James. I forget. I don't know the character name. I'd have to get back and maybe I'll flash it at the bottom of the screen when I edit it. That disappointed me when I saw 3 and put a back. I mean, if I watched 3 by itself, I'm fine with it now. When it first came out, I remember I had a lot of animosity towards it because you killed off all these main characters, and I go, I mean, it's fine to go on this prison planet, but why couldn't the other ones join you on the planet? It didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. So this next one is a classic. and it's got the John Williams soundtrack, obviously.
Okay. Oh, Jaws.
Jaws, yep, we have Jaws here, and it's a digibook, so it's got that's the Blu-ray there. It's got pictures and stuff inside, and then there was a DVD, but I gave it to a friend.
I saw the I saw that this summer at the drive-in, because during the pandemic they were allowing drive-ins to be operating in the States, and some it was down in Illinois, and it was really strict. I mean, you had to wear a mask, not while watching the movie, but anytime you left your van or car to go to the bathroom, do whatever, you had to like have a mask on the entire time. And
Yeah.
to make it more fun though, it was fun. Domino's Pizza was delivering pizzas to our cars,
Oh
right to your
wow.
car. So you could call Domino's on the phone. They would deliver the pizza right to your car while watching Jaws. It was a lot. It was a lot of fun, and it was kind of a cool way they did the reissue this summer because of the anniversary.
Yeah, and you're gonna see I got a little theme going on, but I forgot one film downstairs, which I might go grab after. But throughout this, you're gonna see a little theme because I got a little Vietnam theme going here.
Okay.
So, and now the first of the Vietnam theme is Born on the Fourth of July.
So my question for you is, James, on that movie, who do you think did a better job that year? There were two movies that came out that year. One was My Left Foot, and the other one was Born on the Fourth of July. Both actors were up for Best Actor, was Daniel Day-Lewis and Tom Cruise. Who do you think deserved it more, Tom Cruise or Daniel Day-Lewis? Looking back on it,
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. Yeah,
I
I
thought his
thought the same
performance
thing.
was really good.
He was amazing, and I thought because of his stardom, he got kind of put aside for that, and he did an amazing job. And I think of transforming into that character. And I thought it was really cool how Oliver Stone didn't hold back on some of the paraplegic stuff and just really put it all out there for the vets and what it
Because
was like.
the scene I thought really worked is when he was upset that he couldn't get laid and he was crying and going penis, penis. That was really good acting from Tom Cruise. It made you emotional. It made
Right,
you feel for the character of Ron Kovic.
exactly. He was a real guy.
Yeah,
And it was
and
shocking.
he actually has a cameo in the film, apparently.
And what I found out from a personal standpoint was is that my wife, um, she both did her student nursing and her nursing recently in a VA hospital here in Milwaukee, and her dad also worked at a naval hospital in Philadelphia at the time of the Vietnam War, and
Wow.
it was fascinating to me all the rules changes, all the procedure changes that were taken because of all that happening in that film that showed and in the book that Ron Kovic fought to get, so that now they're respected. They're not treated like that. I mean, it's like getting gold when you go to the. I mean, you get your free meds, you get everything now, and it's pristine clean. But it was
Yeah.
amazing. That's pretty recent when you think about it. The '60s is not that far away to think about. This is what it was like in the VA hospital. How'd you feel about
Hmm.
that?
Now my next movie is a
How'd you feel
trilogy.
about that, real quick, James, before you move on to the next one? How'd you feel about that? The whole aspect of the portrayal of the hospital and how they were really real about it in that movie.
It was gory, but at the same time, I like that they made it realistic.
Right.
You know how they Hollywoodize things sometimes and dramatize it too much. I like that it was real, like you felt you were there, like you felt like, hey, this is actually what it was pretty much like, you know?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
Oliver Stone, he always does a good job on his biopics, like The Doors or the one about Nixon and stuff like that, and JFK. So
Really
you
quick
know,
on the Doors before you move on to the next movie. I have a story on that one, real quick. I was in New York when the Doors debuted. Okay, it was 1991. It was March of 1991. I saw it at the Ziegfeld Theater in New York City. Now, if you recall the old days, the Ziegfeld Follies, the Ziegfeld Theater, it's a big,
yeah,
big
yeah.
deal. At that time in 91, it was one of the largest screens that was showing a first run movie. Okay, because it still had the theater down in Illinois that has the biggest theater in the world. But this one was showing, full length movies. And I went with my roommate and we went to go see the movie, and the only tickets we could get was to the midnight showing. And so we went and did some food. I mean, in New York, they air movies all night long. I mean, you could see a movie at 2 o'clock in the morning out there.
Wow.
And we got in line to see the movie around 11:30, so we got seats. And so the other movie was letting out behind our movie. And this is New York, so when they go to a movie, they get hammered. People drink. I mean, it didn't matter if they served it or not. People were getting hammered in line. It was like you're at a concert. It was not like a movie.
Wow.
This one guy comes out of the movie drunk as a skunk, kind of grabs in that buddy way, like, "Hey man, what's up, man? What's happening?" Slobbering on us, and we're like, "Oh, geez." He looks me dead in the eye, straight in the eye, and he goes, "I don't want to give anything away, but Jim dies in the end." I don't want to give anything away, man, but Jim dies. I was like, "Really? Thanks for the profound impact. Have a good day." So,
Oh, of course, we already knew that going into the film. If you knew
exactly,
about Jim Morrison
exactly,
beforehand, so we're
exactly.
not really giving anything away that we already knew.
Right. That's part of that was the humor. Yeah,
I wonder
that's what made
how
me
the
laugh
people
so hard
remember
because I was
too.
like, okay, I knew that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have a good day, sir. What's the next one you have there, Jen?
So now the next one is three spaghetti westerns. It's a trilogy,
Okay.
and it's one of my favorite actors, which I have a lot of, Clint Eastwood. The Man with No Name trilogy.
That's awesome. Sergio Leone.
Yep. Fistful of dollars for $2 more. My favorite, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That scene in the graveyard with the music,
Mm-hmm.
no dialogue when the camera pans around and it just looks in their eyes. I love how Clint screwed with Tuco. Two bullets in this gun. That was classic. This trilogy is so good. And Ennio Morricone, best music ever.
And I agree. And to go back to the movie we talked about before, wasn't it impressive in Back to the Future how in three how they brought back a lot of the aspects of that trilogy. Like
Yeah.
in Back to the Future 2, Biff was watching that movie, one of the movies, and then they brought back that whole thing with the vest, and his name was Clint Eastwood in the movie. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you must have enjoyed that.
Oh yeah, I did. Now we're going to another Vietnam film.
Okay,
It won an Oscar for Best Picture.
The Deer Hunter, great film.
And I love De Niro.
Yes, and Christopher Walken and Meryl Streep and
Yeah.
her boyfriend at the time was in that as well. He was in the Godfather movies.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? The one actor that was in the movie as well, who died really young in real life.
There's John Cazale.
Yeah, it's him. Yes, that's what I
Yeah.
was. Yeah,
John Savage, Meryl Streep, Christopher Walken, Robert De Niro, and yeah.
Michael Cimino,
Mm-hmm.
who directed that movie. Um, yeah, he was really into that long movie. He liked to have these long cuts and these long. I mean, his films were long, and I mean, he's known as destroying an entire what is that film company, United Artists. He's known for doing that. I mean, he did the Deer Hunter, an amazing film, but because he did the Deer Hunter, he went on to do that Heaven's Gate movie, which they said was like 4.5 hours long. And you could
Wow.
actually, they said, with all the raw footage he shot, you could make 3 different movies with almost 3 different endings from that
Oh my
entire
gosh.
film. And he basically ruined with Chris Christopherson and ruined careers and ruined the whole studio.
But a lot of people got disturbed with the Russian roulette scene. Didi Mao, Didi Mao,
Yes, CD Mao, yeah.
Mao.
It was one
And
of the first films that actually depicted the Vietnam War. I remember in '86, Platoon was the hugest film that depicted the Vietnam War.
that's the film I forgot to bring upstairs. I
Oh,
have Platoon as well.
that's a great movie. That's
And we're
also to bring
building
it
up
back. That's
to the
also a really
best
good vinyl.
Vietnam film ever, which I have in this pile here somewhere.
And just to talk about Platoon for a second, I can flash up a picture of Platoon in the editing version, so I can edit this out. But I just want to ask you something.
Okay.
Platoon, can we recall back to the time when that came out in '86? I remember, and I want to see if you have any stories too. And you talk about Vietnam. I remember vets hugging each other and crying outside of the theater when I was leaving the movie after seeing that. Did you see any of that or hear any of that stuff going on during that time?
Um, Not that I remember. I was still in high school at the time.
Okay.
I was like 17 then when that came out. But I never saw it in the theater. I saw it on VHS, and then years later, I got it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, Blu-ray really did that film a lot of justice. It had a lot of problems going back to its release. It was released on Vestron Video, which was an old video company,
Yeah,
and they were known for their really. There was a fight for the rights of that movie when it came out, so it took a while for it to actually get the VHS. And there was a fight for the rights, and then it was disappointing for us filmmakers or film buffs that Vestron got it because they were known for making weak films. They were the ones that released VHS movies that were sold with McDonald's, so they
mhm.
released really low quality, low budget movies. So it didn't do that film any justice to come out at that time when it actually finally made it to video. But it was great in later releases that Oliver Stone finally got to change, and edit and get a better quality cut out there of that film.
Yeah, and also was it 86 or 87? I can't remember. There was also Full Metal Jacket.
Yes, Private Pile.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
That was the opening with that whole basic training scene. I watch that movie and I just watch the beginning and I don't really watch the end. I don't ever finish the rest of it because it feels like two movies because they have the first part and the second part. I mean, it relates, but it's still, the first part is like one episode and then the second part is like another episode. Really, is how that film worked.
Like the funniest scene in there is the hooker. No, no, he too big. He too big or something.
Alabama Black Snake.
Yeah, but it was disturbing when that guy shot himself in the bathroom.
Yeah, that was.
Because I think the sergeant there, he got a little too on his nerves and he couldn't take it anymore,
Right.
and he had to shoot himself. You know what? I actually cried when that scene was on.
Oh,
I
wow.
felt for him.
Yeah, Private Pile went through a lot in that movie. It was a great character development. Vincent D'Onofrio, that performance was amazing. And I remember the only thing I had seen him in until that point, I didn't know he was that caliber of an actor, because the only thing I had seen him in was his performance in Adventures in Babysitting, which is the Chris Columbus film that came out around
Yeah,
that same time. And he played that mechanic that looked like Thor. That's all I knew about him. I didn't know anything else at that time.
yeah. So
The
now our
other one,
next
real
box
quick,
set.
before we move on, James, real quick,
Okay.
um, just to bring something about Full Metal that I thought of about Platoon and about Born on the Fourth of July. I just want to mention is Wilhelm Defoe is from Appleton, Wisconsin, which is about 45 minutes from here. My wife's family's from there, and his name growing up was actually Billy Defoe, not Defoe. It's Defoe, and his name
Oh, I
was
never
Billy
knew that.
Defoe. And he grew up in Appleton and next door to my mother-in-law, actually. And my mother-in-law always tells me the story about how he wasn't Wilhelm, he was Billy, and his name was Billy Defoe. And
Wow.
he
But
went to
he's a
school,
great
and he
actor,
still
that
relates
guy.
out to Appleton a lot.
Oh, I love that guy. He's awesome.
Yeah, he started out in a theater company here called Theater X.
Ah, so our next box set
Okay.
is all the way from the UK,
Oh
but
wow,
it plays here. It plays here. We go to more Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood. Yes,
Dirty Harry collection.
make my day.
Got Dirty Harry, Magnum Force, The Enforcer, Sudden Impact, and the Deadpool.
Your cousin's in one of those movies.
Liam Neeson, yeah, and the Deadpool.
Yep, it was like one of his first roles.
And Jim Carrey's in that too.
Yeah, he plays the crazy guy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna move this set down and move on to the next pile. See what
So there you go. There's episode 1 with James Winston Lennon and JJ 22 Explosive Hits discussing movies. More episodes to come. Hope you enjoyed this and have a great day.